This is another exercise meant to acquaint you better with VS Code. One thing I'd recommend is that you find a color scheme that you like. There are a number of them available. To see them, click the main code menu and then do preferences and then settings, and then color theme. And that will give you a list of color themes that are available. The one I use is Tomorrow Night Blue. There are also themes that are available for download, where people have come up with their own themes, and you might want to explore those as well. Another thing that I highly recommend that you do is under Code, Preferences, and now Settings, you'll see commonly used settings. So let's just go through a few of these in order. To autosave a file, that means when you're done working on the file, it will save it after a certain delay. You can set this to off. So in other words, you need to manually do that. Mine is auto delay. And then if you choose that, you have to determine how many seconds should it wait after you type something, after you stop typing something, in order to save. I have mine set very small, 1000 milliseconds, which is 1 second. And then the font size. So here's what my 16 looks like. You can obviously just adjust that. And then the font family. Now I use what's called Firacode-Retina, and it's got this feature called font ligatures. And let me show you what this does. So here we are down here, and I'm going to start saying, and we'll just call it a function, and I'm going to do a fat arrow, or an arrow function, sorry. And so I put the equal, and then I put the greater than, and you see how it automatically converts that into again, the font ligature. So I like that. Then another thing that you can do is say if x, I'm going to put equal. You see how it makes that long, and typically, of course, we use 3 equals, so it makes it even longer. Now, if I wanted to do a not equal, that's an exclamation mark. We call that bang. And then I would put 1 equal. It automatically turns it into that, which I think is kind of cool. And typically, I'm using bang equal, so it makes it even longer. So I think that's kind of neat, too. And there are a few other things that where it will do something like that for you. So that's just something you might decide whether or not you like or not. And again, there's a huge variety of fonts that you can choose from. Play around, see which one you like. And then this is the number of spaces a tab is equal to. So when you tab over, how large of a width will the tab create? A lot of programmers like theirs set to 4. I like mine set to 2. And so where that comes in is you see the return, and then I tab in it and it moves it in, but it only moves it in what looks like 2 spaces, and then tab, and again 2 spaces. That's something. The 4 is certainly easier to see the nesting, but if you have longer lines of code, you tend to run out of screen real estate, or it'll just wrap if you want it to do that. Other than that, I think you find you can play around with all of these things and see what you like and you don't like. It's just really a matter of personal preference. One thing I will say about the font you use, whatever it is, it should be what's called a monospaced font. Monospaced fonts, all the characters take up the same amount of width on the screen. Having that makes it easier to read code where things appear to be stacked up neatly. It's useful. In a normal document, like, for example, the instructions here that I wrote, I use a proportional font because when you're just reading, it makes a proportional font is more pleasing and makes it easier to read. So directions for downloading Firacode for free, of course, and installing it in VS Code are provided at the bottom of the instructions pages. And when you're done exploring this, head over to exercise 44.